it's so bitter. For those of you that do not know, my name is Brandon, and I make quite a bit of content about things in relation to health. I also do cooking videos. I also write articles, like I said, about health and nutrition. And that's basically what all my platforms are about. So, what I would like to do now is to, in a sense, open up a bit more about my life and the things that are happening in it. Maybe I can use this as like video journal for myself. I'll just see where it goes. It seems like a nice thing to do. um, Mugwort. It's so bitter, but it's so good at the same time. And there's no sweetener in this or anything. It's just straight raw mugwort tea. So September 7th. Well, first and foremost, how did I get here? Where am I at? I'm at my parents' house. Uh, I moved back in with my parents. It seemed like, well, it was something that I've been contemplating for years now. I've been contemplating it. I just turned 28 this year, so that Saturn return is really kicking in. That Saturn return is kicking in, and yeah, so like I said, I'm here at my parents' place. And how did I end up here? Well, September 7th, I really just decided to just get up and leave, you know? I was in a 8 year long relationship, 7 or 8 years. I think it was 8. I know for a fact I met the person before I turned 21. I may have even been 19. I'm not sure. But I know for a fact that I met them before I was 21. And basically had been together ever since. So practically all of my 20s I spent with this person. And together we've made a lot of, careless decisions, stupid mistakes, a lot of fun times, a lot of great times, but at the same time, a lot of struggles that came along with it. And my biggest reason, my biggest reason for leaving, I didn't leave like I wasn't frustrated or anything when I left. I wasn't upset. I wasn't sad. No, 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 no. I left for the simple fact that I have been having a series of revelations about my life. And this all happened like in the span of a weekend. It was freaking me out. How much stuff was like I was realizing just about myself. And I was telling myself, I said, I feel like I'm relying on this person too much to the point where it put me in a position where somebody can say that they're the reason for my success or they're the reason for why I'm growing. And I don't ever want to find myself in that type of position. I don't want anybody to be able to tell me that what I have going on in my life is because of them. Because then they can take things from me. They can say, "Hey, because I bought that, I'm going to take it from you. You have to give that back. If you plan on leaving, you're going to have to give this stuff back. Well, then take it. Well, then take it." And like I said, I never want to find myself in that position again. I never wanted to rely on anybody, but at the same time, I wanted to learn to work with another person, to learn to, accept help from others. And I can do that. I can be of help and be of assistance, but I don't want to find myself in a position where you can tell me that you made me, or I wouldn't be somewhere if it wasn't for you. You know? That's I feel like that's not love, you know? Whether you bought it or not, you know, you don't you don't do things out of love and even expect it in return, you know? You don't do things out of love because you know it can help somebody. And in your anger and emotional disturbances, you snatch it away from somebody. Now, granted, I left very abruptly, like middle of the day, they just went to work. We got on the phone and they were upset at me. To which I said, like, you're not upset at me. You're upset at yourself and you're upset at your life. So please don't call me like this because I don't deserve that. And the conversation just kind of went on and on and on. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to leave. And that's exactly what I did. I, for like the past 2, maybe even 3 years, but I'll leave it at 2 years, I've been contemplating if I needed to come back to my parents' house. And I was never, I was never like opposed to it. I guess I felt like I could still make something right. I could still do something out of my life. But the constant go, 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 the constantly trying to find something to do, find a way to fix things, find a new way to make money, this, that, and the third. It just became, it, it gets to the point where, like my soul has to sit me down. The universe has to sit me down. And now it's like, well, we have to reel you all the way back to the source. Like we have to, like, I've never been sat down like this in my journey of life. I've never been sat down like this. And most of the time, because of how much I was working, which story for another time, usually I'll get sick and it'll last 3 days. One time it lasted 4 days, but it'll always last 3 days, and I only get sick once or twice a year, and it will be as a result of me trying to work too hard. It's like it's never from like food or seasons changing or anything. No, it's always because I'm overworking myself. And so spirit will say, okay, like it's time for you to sit down. And I can feel it when it comes on. But story for another time, story for another time. I've never been sat down like this before. So this is I don't want to say it's like humbling or anything, but it feels it feels more necessary than I can comprehend, which is scary, you know? Why am I here? I can only fathom, I can only imagine why. But it still doesn't seem like I know why I'm here. I just know that I needed to get up and I needed to leave. And so this is me now embarking on a new journey of finally being able to focus on myself and where I want to be in life and what I want to do with my life. I have ideas. I have, like, I have a vision, but at the same time, it still seems partial. It still seems very clouded. Like, maybe I'm doubtful of it. I'm not too sure. But I can see something. And I know for a fact that over the course of these last last 5 years, I've been actively working toward it unconsciously, where there have been goals that I've put in my mind that I've worked towards and that I've accomplished, and they've progressed into other goals, but it was never like I sat down and said, these are the things I want to do, these are my goals, this is how I'm going to get there. It's really just been the natural course of my life and the evolution of or the consistent unfolding of the plan. So yeah, I find myself in a space where this is so mentally uncomfortable, but I know that there's nothing I can do about it. Not like not like I can't do anything about it, but it's like I'm not supposed to. And I'm supposed to be here so that I can heal from these past 8 years, so that I can finally get a chance to clean my slate off and focus on myself for a change. I've never, even my parents will sit and tell me, it's just like, you've never taken the time to actually care about yourself. You've never taken the time to do for yourself what you need to do. You've been so concerned with everything else and everybody else. It's time to put that shit down because it hasn't done anything for you up until this point. So, here's to a new journey in life, a new beginning for myself, for my platforms, a brand new beginning. And I'm nothing but excited for what is to come and where I'm headed now. I'm very excited for it. It's very scary. It feels like I'm in purgatory. It feels like I'm, like in the middle of nowhere with nothing. But I know that something is going to become of me because it has already naturally happened. What's going on, Macho? So, cheers to new beginnings because shit is happening and shit is happening fast.